when Pearl Harbor was bombed, where were you?
I was in San Diego.
On your mission?
Yes,
What was it like when you got the news?
Well, I don't know. You think everybody be shocked, but we've been getting things like that regularly, so it wasn't that big of a shock. It was a shock for those in the service, I think. But the other people sort of, I don't know, it just seemed like they knew something was coming.
Sure.
So it wasn't that big of a shock. Newspapers, of course, tried to make it into something so they could sell papers. But I didn't think it. Everybody, we worried about who was in the service. That was, I think, the biggest worry. And there was a lot of worry about missionaries being in different places where they could be in trouble.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
But my mission, I was still in the States.
So at that point, how long was it before you finished your mission?
I never really finished my mission.
Did the war interrupt it?
I was released, I think, a little bit before my mission was over. See, my mission was for 2.5 years, and because the half year was for learning Spanish, because we didn't have any school on it. So I never really got to learn Spanish like I should have. And all the Spanish I got was with the members that we visited, and with DiTorno's Spanish book.
Oh.
And that was it. I never had any formal training at all.
So then you went home and then joined the Navy right away? How did that happen?
I joined the Navy within a month.
Oh.
Wow, let me explain that. One of the reasons of that was I was on the draft list.
Oh.
And I didn't want to be drafted. So I joined the Navy. I tried to get in the Air Force. Mm-hmm. And I had a cyst.
That's right.
On my butt.
Yeah.
And so they wanted me to get that taken care of before they would accept me. So I knew I couldn't have time, so I went into the Navy, and they accepted me right off, and took me in. And later down in Guatemala, no.
Cuba?
In Cuba, but I was trying to think of the town.
Oh.
Anyway, in
Havana? Havana?
No.
No. I don't know the towns in Cuba.
Oh, the big area where I was stationed for quite a while.
Is it that famous military bit, that Guadalajara or something? I don't know what the name is.
Guadalajara, but
no, that's. I don't know.
It's the same thing.
What is the name of that? It's always in the news.
I'll think of it.
Okay.
And they operated on me down there.
Oh.
And so I thought that was nice for them to do that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't much of an operation.
Right.
It kept me from having blood in my pants every night.
Sure, that's TMI. So then, what was the name of the ship you were on?
USS, guy's name.
Roberts.
Yeah, John Q. Roberts. ASPD 194 is the number of it.
What was that? What kind of ship was it?
It was sort of a hybrid. It was a DE converted. A DE is a destroyer escort, converted to an APD, which had four landing craft on it. It had a boom on the back to lift cargo on. It had a cargo deck on the back end. It was really a cut up ship. And then it had on the side, they built up the side, and in that was two rows of bunks for soldiers or whoever we carried. And it was just altogether different.
What was the purpose of it?
What?
What was the purpose of that type of a ship?
The purpose, we were to prepare the beaches for our landing craft so they could get in. The troops we had in there, not us, but the troops we had, would go in and put dynamite charges under any obstacle that might stop a landing craft. And that was their key position, key part. We practiced that. In fact, we practiced that in Hawaii. And taking them in and picking them up. But we never actually used it on a beach.
Wow. Did you use it at all?
No. In fact, it's good we didn't, because they'd have been all probably dead. It was a very dangerous operation.
Wow.
But we never had to use it. Seems like all the way through my mission, that is my time in the Navy, I was pulled away from anything that was bad. I never got in anywhere where there was any shells shot between us.
Wow.
In fact, the only time I ever saw the big battleship shoot was a practice target area down in the Philippines. And that was interesting, because they'd shoot the 14-inch. I think they were 14-inch. Could have been some 16-inch there, but I think most of them were 14. But you could track it across the sky.
Wow.
The shell. That's how slow those big ones were.
Wow.
Because when you stop to think how big a shell they are, they're 14-inch in diameter.
Good grief.
And they'd be about, that or longer. And so that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And then you got to remember the friction of the air. People think, it'll go right fast, but it doesn't. There's a lot of air to push.
Right. So, how long were you in the Navy?
4 years.
Was it 4 years or?
Yeah, I was there 4 years.
Really? So do you remember, I remember Mom telling me about a story about you had orders to go into a certain place, and then that changed, and then the ship that went in your place was destroyed.
Right.
And so that's one of those examples that you said that you were
Right.
pulled away from conflict.
This is what we call the ping line. Ping line. One of our smaller ships, like ours, DE destroyer or unattached, can't think of the name of that other little ship. We would go in there, different places. They'd set up a ping line, circling a certain area that was an enemy. And so they could detect anything coming in or anything going out, like submarines or small craft, things like that. So it was called the ping line. And every once in a while we'd have to take place of another ship in there. If one had to go out, somebody else had to go in. And so we would take that place, but we didn't get that very often. We were pretty lucky, or else pretty slow.
But so what happened though? Do you remember the exact battle, or do you remember why you guys were changed from doing whatever that was that?
Well, around the ping line around the Philippines, once we got out of it, there was a real bad battle in it. It had a lot of bad problems in that one. And that was the worst one. Most of the other ping lines, nothing really happened. Just the one around the Philippines.